Oh, hi. Hi, everybody.
Morning.
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 Playing Zelda 2. I hope you enjoyed that write-up.
that
We were just
that
talking about it.
Mercs didn't do. I did not write that up.
Mercs did
No, you
not
wrote
write
it.
that up. He is not that literate.
I'm literally I'm not that articulate when it comes to writing though.
I know some of these words.
Zelda 2. It's Zelda 2.
It is the second game. Yeah.
All right, you want to count it down and then we'll start talking about it?
Yeah, I'm gonna start right now. So here we go.
On go. Go. All right, so I guess this is the first time Zelda's been in this marathon.
Really?
So we get to explain like a lot of things. Yeah, like this first cave here and
Okay.
how Mercs is going to play frame perfect right now. But yeah, so realistically, if you play frame perfect here and you kill a sixth enemy on the perfect frame, we're going to get a 50 bag drop, which will set us up for trying to get like our most effective stats coming out of P1, which would be attack 4. And there's a bag.
Does it?
Oh my god, this man's frame perfect for the first 32 seconds.
Amazing. Let's throw it all
Insane.
away from here on out.
Yeah, no more frame perfect stuff. You could, if you wanted to, you could play frame perfect for the next minute, but he's not going to.
It's not that hard, but I don't think he ever set up. I don't think he ever put together the manipulation for the double bubble after his thing.
Yeah, so the RNG in this game runs on a global timer. So if you reach all these key spots on the global timer, you'll get the same encounters. When you get into an encounter, you waste like 7 seconds going through the side scroll screen. This is like a side scroll platforming game. So like you'll see that encounter there. If he had gotten here on like the same frame on a different playthrough, you would see the exact same encounters and they would do the same movement. He just slink there, and then we're taking an encounter on the specific square in this yellow road, which actually had another side scroll screen, and we made it shorter by taking an encounter on it.
Yeah, thanks for covering all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could be playing frame perfect up to this point and get another reverse encounter skip and skip it. But now you guys get to see it.
Yep, and you can see how long it is, and it's kind of treacherous. If he gets hit by this bubble, it's going to knock him right into the drink.
Yeah, you always get knocked right by those bubbles, so going backward is more dangerous. Also, having your beams in this palace helps you keep your beams in this palace.
Yep, and you know, a lot of times people talk crap about the beam in this game. Like, oh, it doesn't go that far. You know, in Zelda 1, it's going like full screen. But in this game, it's really handy in order to save movement time. You can like jump and throw a beam. You can standing stab like that and lose time. You can throw you can see how he threw a beam and it just hit the bot, and the bot was stuck in hit stun and just stopped in the air, so he avoided taking damage. So the beam is a very good defensive tool in this game for just making Link not have to stop moving. And when you don't have beams, it sucks because you also don't have the cool shing sound.
Everybody loves that sound.
Yeah,
Just do it the entire time that you're in town.
absolutely. You can cut out half the sound tone.
Yeah.
You see throw beams backwards. They always move a little bit faster than Link, the beams, and when they go backwards, they catch up with these little jumping and running enemies if they're on their slow pattern. Someone mentioning CDI Zelda games. One of the CDI games is the most similar to Zelda 2, and that's, I think, Zelda's Adventure. It's like a side-scrolling game.
Wand to Gamelon.
Wand to Gamelon, okay.
I suppose that, I mean, that game's a lot of side-scrolling, but the problem with that game is that they got these painted backgrounds which look nice, but it's kind of hard to tell what's a platform and what's not.
Yeah. Yeah, some games do that kind of well. I like Rayman. It kind of has a similar aesthetic, but you can actually, you know, everything's kind of separated. You can tell what to jump on.
Earthworm Jim.
Yeah. So Mercs just did a jump over the Chewie. We call that guy Chewie. He's throwing stuff. He looks like Chewie, Chewbacca from Kashyyyk. So he jumped over it and then fought it from the right side to the left, which is nice because you grab the key and then you don't have to worry about this Chewy guy jumping up on the platform to the right, and then you have to waste time going further into him to kill him. We want to kill as many things as possible in here to get our XP up. Since he got that 50 bag early, we're going to have 2 chances at a 200 bag drop in here. All we need is one of them, though, and he'll be able to get attack 4 coming out of this palace, which is a lot of XP. Like, it takes 1,000 XP to get attack 4. It takes 500 XP to get attack 3. So we're trying to get attack 3 before the boss, kill the boss, get to over the threshold of like magic 1 or magic 2, life 2, and then we'll take the gem XP, which is going to give us like 900 950 900 XP, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and so getting that first 50 bag with that frame perfect cave, moved his percentage up for you. People who like probability but don't know how to do it. Went from like a 31.25% to 75% of him succeeding at that goal of getting attack 4 out of here.
Huge odds. You bet on those odds. And this is our 5th enemy, large enemy. So the next one Mercs kills is going to be a drop. And there is some manipulations to getting a 200 bag there too. Like when you enter a room, there's a room timer as well, and there's spikes in like whether a jar or a bag is going to drop based on the frame that you kill an enemy just upon entering a room. It's pretty damn hard to time it on this next one coming up.
Yeah, so it's literally frame perfect to get a 100% bag, and if you miss by 1 frame, then it's a 0%. Otherwise, if you just randomly sample, it's just 50%.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a risk game, isn't it?
Yeah, especially if like the group of frames around that 200 bag is like a bunch of red jar frames. Like it's kind of rough to go for it. So you got it. That's just a random one. We don't know what frame that was.
Carried
by luck.
But yeah, Mercs has jumped over these Stalfos the first 2 times through those rooms because Stalfos have 30 experience, and he wants to manipulate the drop counter to put his 200 bag on top of that to net 20 additional experience.
Yeah, those orange IKs that he's killing are giving 50. So because of the one before the candle that we got earlier is normally the 6th enemy, we want to skip that skeleton so that orange IK doesn't turn into a drop, which we used to use, and it's not a big deal, especially because he killed Gorilla earlier. So he has a lot of XP. If you look at it now,
he would have preferred to skip that second drop there.
Yeah.
But he wanted to get by that Chewy, but he didn't get under it, so he would have died if he kept trying.
Yeah, the Chewies are on a jump pattern, which is also room timer based, and also like when you activate the enemy, which is where your position is in regard to it. But that enemy activates as soon as you walk into the room. So he tried to time a stab on the Chewy. It pushes it back a little bit. You open the door, and then it jumps over your head. But just a little bit of mistiming there. And then you got to kill it because like the next jump timer is so much later, and you're not going to wait around for that. It's not going to save you time at that point.
Now that was a good P1. Merc's going to be happy with that.
Yeah.
He wants to impress you all. He won't say it.
Yeah.
He's way nervous about this run. He just didn't really think too much about it. Fairies.
Oh, fairies. Yeah, fairies create random walk. That's why you saw those encounters kind of like going up and down and left and right with no real pattern there. Or real logical pattern. In this game, there's 2 types of encounters, and it's either homing encounters or random walk. And fairies will just create random walk no matter what. But if you leave a room at a certain amount of frames, you can turn the encounters outside to random or just straight up like walk at you. And there's advantages to using both in certain areas of the game. Here you want them to kind of home in on you because you just want it to come, and you want to dodge up and over it. You're baiting it into your horizontal line there and then going up and over it. If it was random, it could just walk straight up into you. Like you can't kind of manipulate it or bait it in that case. He had no control over whether that was going to be random or not, but it was good to see them home in that situation.
Did you notice how he blocked that boomerang with the back of the shield?
Yeah, on the way out.
Yeah. the second boomerang when he was hoisting the trophy.
Oh, during the hoist, I missed that part.
Yeah, during the hoist, he had a kind of a late boomerang, but he just held down and left. It might have hit before he came out of the hoist, but it looked like he, but when the way it looked to us at least, that the boomerang bounced off the back of the shield, which does work. The shield deflects from either side. Fella named CF207.
Listen, I'm just happy I got it. I'm just happy I got attack 4 right now.
Damn straight. But no,
Yeah, that's like the inner part of the
entire
shield
song.
is what you mean.
There's an entire song, parody song of Pearl Jam's Even Flow, made by CF207, where he talks about the shield deflecting from either side and all of Justin Man 114's epic Tink sequences.
Yep.
We should link that. That's
Yeah, you'll have to find that. I don't know his channel for that.
I'll find that. It's like I only think it's linked in Discord.
So because we have attack 4 here, these gorillas only take 3 hits. If he had attack 3, which was pretty likely that he would have had attack 3 had he not gotten the 50 bag in the first cave, they would all take 2 more hits. So you would be able to. You can kind of realize where the time loss comes from getting attack 3. It's just like a lot of extra hits. Merc's just taking an encounter to the face. He didn't want it in the swamp. Maybe he thought it was going to dodge up and around him. We don't know. Merc can't talk. Oh, went up 1 tile too late there, possibly. Although another encounter would have occurred in the forest had he gotten past that one. So,
all right, I got a link for chat. Save it for later. Bookmark it. This is a song about Zelda playing Zelda 2. It's a great song.
yeah, I don't like the original song, but I like that song more. I like this song more than Even Flow.
Yeah, me too. This guy did a lot of parody songs, mostly based on 80s music like Sister Christian or whatever, and they were played during Angry Larry's SHI and Elite Tournament VODs.
Yeah, like bumpers and stuff for the tourney.
Oh yeah.
The best part about Larry tournaments. The before and after. Never know what you're gonna get.
Pop-up Mario Kart was awesome. Remember pop-up video where like little factoids would pop up while the music was playing?
Yeah.
He did that for Mario Kart during a Mario Kart race in the 2020 Olympics.
Oh, that's awesome.
2018? 2020? 2018. As seasoned Zelda 2 commentary veterans, we know that there's a lot of time to talk about whatever when we're in the town of Saria.
You guys should be proud. I'm hitting door frames and everything right now.
We are. We expect it from you, though. That's why we're talking about other stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
But
oh my god, he saved 10 frames.
Yeah, the 10 frames, man. And here you
Oh,
have
right there?
saving the 10 frames.
Oh no, he wasted all of it on that one standing stab. All those 10 framers that he got.
Yep, and more. But yeah, you see Link when he was paused there, waiting for that bridge to come out. He was standing on the left side of the door. If you enter on the rightmost pixel of a door entry, you'll pop out on the right side when you come back out, which you use a few times. Most of the time, you want to come out on the left.
Lost beams immediately on that bot, which sucks because you can just beam straight through these moblins. They're 2 hits, so you throw a beam and then you connect your sword as the beam hits. Pretty nice. Of course, bots are... Oh, we're skipping Magic 2. We're going straight for Attack 5. Technically faster.
Yep.
Get your attack level earlier, you can kill stuff faster. You could also just, like, in the case that you get nothing but red jars, you can just go 5-1-2 to 6-1-2, going into Pals 3.
Yeah, Pals 3 has plenty of experience.
Yeah. So if Mercs had been able to skip that Chewy way earlier in Pals 1 that we were talking about, that has a jump cycle timer, That enemy right there that you just killed is called a Dyra. It's the the orange guy with an axe. It would have had a drop. So, but now we're on number 1 count, and we have to kill 5 more enemies before a drop happens.
That was some good tinks there.
Tink. Yeah, so tinkable things. Those trollfish, they throw these little coconuts at you. You can tink those with your shield. You can tink boomerangs. You can tink sword blades.
The shield's great in this game because it doesn't cover the whole body, but you do have some control of where it goes, but not complete control. It makes
You
it
have
challenging.
Yeah, you have complete control in the sense that if you jump, you can then cover all these different angles. But yeah, if you're grounded, you only have like you cover like 48% of the lower, 48% of the higher, upper. It's weird. Like there's a middle part of him that doesn't block anything. But that only really comes into play in like Great Palace with the blue jumping knights.
Yeah, where they can place that beam on any y-axis at all.
Yeah. Oh, we're only taking hits to bots. Bots suck. Bots are those blue slimes. Yeah, damage is very health is very good here. Getting beams back to deal with these bats here. If the first one had flown to the right, it would hit Link as you run past it. So you throw a beam over your head to catch it and put it into hit stun. Gotta wait for the XP there. If you let the XP tick and then walk off screen, that enemy will remain dead. But if you kill it and then the XP's like hasn't ticked yet, like you kill it and you immediately walk off screen, it'll stay spawned the next time you come back through.
Oh, we got hacked by Evil Goofy.
Oh, these are evil goofies. It's probably a good hammer time. I don't know. Yeah, it was like 16:20. Looks like.
I'm not looking at any timers.
All that matters is it felt good.
Yeah. As Joshy D says, a timer can't tell you how much fun you're having.
True. Merc sounds like he's having a lot of fun.
Tinks can tell you how much fun you're having.
I'm actually playing Blind 2, no timer.
I thought you were gonna... I'm playing... This is the first playthrough. Now you can see no beam, but the bat went to the right. Always lucky. But we get a magic refill right here, so you can life up if you wanted to. I think it would put you at like 3 bars about. Well, not after the fact.
Ooh.
All good, all good. You can collect a blue jar here.
Doing some cave ducking in order to, not make encounter spawn? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cave ducks take a couple seconds. Encounters take like 6.5, 7. Especially these with the Keld arms in them. They're gross.
Yeah, there's a setup for like walking straight up from one side to this other cave over here. But cave ducking costs 2 seconds over it, so you just walk in the caves, reset the timer on the encounters, and keep going.
I guess it costs 2 seconds because we're subtracting out time spent on the setup.
Yep.
Okay.
If you were to just straight up walk it, it's probably like 4 seconds. 3 to 4, yeah.
The worst strat in this run.
Lord Doodoo.
Oh yeah. Lord Doodoo walk. That's later.
It's much later. We could point it out. It's an overworld walk, and it utilizes getting lucky.
And like walking frame perfectly when you're like top out of one of these side scroll encounters and you got to take like 2 steps in a direction and then change a couple times real quick, and you can't drop a single frame or you get caught or you have to change strats.
Yeah.
Is that a good boulder dash there?
Yep, it was on the right tile. So he waited on a specific tile, took an encounter there. It's the perfect amount of steps away from this cave that when you walk off the bridge or off the Off the path
road.
here, it throws 2 encounters at you, which is the timed and the step-based one. So you pretty much have a free walk to the next area.
Yeah, you get both encounters, plus the encounters are on chase mode, so you can easily dodge them rather than random mode where they might just walk into you.
Yeah, they're on chase and then F off mode.
And then F off.
Which is funny. This game has a mixture of the two that I mentioned before, which is random walk and homing. Sometimes they'll home in and then they'll go onto the random walk timer like 3 seconds after they've been on screen, which is really good for us because then that means they home in and then they don't chase us into the swamp, which the swamp makes you run at half speed, so an encounter can kind of catch up to you there. But by that time they're on the random walk timer, so.
In classic NES form, it's on a 256 frame cycle, so it cycles every 4.25 seconds, where it spends, I don't know, it spent like 40 frames on random walk mode.
I don't know.
Something like that. I think it's about
Something
40
like that.
frames on random walk.
Good walk there. The half encounter is like a 25% chance to get, a back spawn that you can just walk straight right on. But taking a road encounter is like 3 seconds, so no big deal. Most people are happy to get road encounters versus the worst options.
So Mercs needs to get a little magic refill here so he can jump up in this house.
Yep.
How do you
And
refill
while it's
life?
refilling, yeah. You can see while his magic was refilling, he was able to cast magic, which allows the magic bar to keep refilling. Going back to what Yuna said earlier, this game, true NES fashion, it gives you 256 points of magic. Every one of those bars is 16, so it can refill a maximum of twice, because it's 128 total after
It's actually
8 bars.
Curious, after looking under the hood with CF207 guy who made that song, he also made the Zelda 2 editor program, the graphical visual editor. That in the editor, spell costs are represented at twice the cost. So really, the full bar magic is like 256,
Oh, interesting.
which is weird because I don't know what makes they just like have the number, so it wouldn't be quite so confusing. Like is overwhelming.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Weird.
Game design nowadays is a lot simpler if you use like a program like Game Maker. A lot of the back-end stuff is done for you, and a lot of the coding you're doing are just like functions.
Yeah.
So hard to know about that sort of stuff without having your hands on some NES code and doing it yourself.
Oh, he's gonna do the under the road walk. No, he's not. He's not even taking the step.
Yeah, and then he waits on that encounter or on that tile to get the time-based one to come out. He thinks it's better. We let him think that. The money walk.
Money walk.
Hey, nice kill.
Oh, attack 5 already.
And magic too.
Oh yeah. So
See, the
now-
magic too would have been sick there if he didn't have to get the refill earlier, because it would have kind of like emulated getting a red jar here as well.
Oh, we just saw our first hoist skip with the fairy magic. So the hoist
Yep.
is 112 frames. You cast fairy and you regain control. You could do it before touching it too, because there's no hoist animation as a fairy.
Yeah, and Fairy has instant acceleration in this game. It gets to max speed on frame 1 of movement. So being a fairy and collecting items is faster for 2 reasons. And that's a random walk that we were wanting to see. You should get in for free now. Yeah, you just skipped
Wow.
an encounter by being on that road for that one
Yeah.
unit of time. Yeah.
By getting that one swamp encounter a step shy of the road.
That's sick.
Didn't see a lot of that in the tournament.
No, I don't think I saw it ever in the tournament. Yeah, it's fun when you can skip encounters just by using the road at optimal times. And a lot of times that is utilized in like other types of runs of this game where up and A is allowed. Because then it's like always you're always like walking from the North Palace from the start of the game, you're walking to like some location and it's all like routed out. You're kind of like on rails, like walking on a path, and a lot of times it's skipping encounters based on timer or steps. But in all keys, there's a lot of improvisation because you know, random walk. You're 1cc. You're not up A. Up A resets the game for you on the second controller. So resetting the game in this context, it resets the global timer, and it puts Link back at North Palace. When you game over in this game, it starts you at the very start of the game. So resetting the global timer would allow you to control what encounters you see in the overworld. Going back to like what we said in the first few minutes of this game, encounters are on a global timer. So if you reach the same point in the game at 3200 frames, you're going to get the same encounters every time. So like a task bot could play the game the same way every single time, like a lot of NES games. So that's why up A categories are really fast, because all the walks are just like on rails, like they're perfectly doable without any RNG. But like I was saying, in all keys, there's a lot more improv because you're taking encounters in weird places. There's no global timer at this point that we can keep track of. So when you can skip an encounter based on like, you know, how many steps away you were from like a road tile, it's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Pretty heads up.
The biggest variable for 100% all keys walks is that we don't know what direction the hole's going to be in the encounters. You know, they show up on 3 sides and then there's a hole on 1 side. That's what the biggest thing we don't know. Because, you know, we generally know what the random walk timers are going to be. We know how many steps we're going to take to get from point A to point B. But because the encounter might appear in front of us, then we might take the encounter a step early, and then that changes everything that follows until we get to, you know, point B.
Yeah. Another aspect about encounters is that when they actually appear on your screen, sometimes they're instantly moving. They're just like, they appear in like frame 1, they're already in movement. They're coming towards you, random walking, whatever. Half the time they will actually just stop. They'll appear, but they'll just like be on screen, like not moving, and then they'll move after like a few frames. And we can sometimes know what that is. We call it delay or quick spawns. We can sometimes know what they do because they're on like a TikTok system where when a fast encounter occurs, the next one is like a slow encounter. If it's like the timer-based ones. When you have timer and step-based occurring at the same time, you can't really keep track of them. So there's just so many things in all keys. It being a 1cc, like it's so hard to keep track of how encounters are going to work on you.
Yeah, that's based on like a frame rule thing, isn't it? Because they probably start moving on a frame, like a short frame rule.
Yeah. And so because it's on a frame rule, you know what the next one's going to do because you essentially are counting the frames between them because you know how many frames it takes for like a timer-based one to occur after a timer one's occurred in the first place.
Another thing is that we didn't mention that the overworld encounters, also that timed encounter, the first one, appears on a 21 frame rule. So it might be a 21 frame variance from when you appear in the overworld to when it spawns.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Third of a second.
That mean, so like you get an entire step on the overworld if you're not in swamp in 16 frames. So yeah, it might be an entire step and a quarter apart.
Yep. Oh, that's a dead Skelly.
The experience here is just way beyond what he needs.
Yeah. It's funny. There's no way to mess this up, which is great.
No, you're right. There isn't. He's beyond the point of error.
Yeah. Just take your attack 6 when it clicks, and all good. Pretty easy to do. It's after the gem. It's not a section where you would hit up to cancel out of accidental muscle memory or something. So the reason why his XP is so high is because he's just gotten like 200 bags everywhere. I don't know if I've ever seen a red jar yet.
I don't know.
Well, sometimes people are in like kind of dire straits here. They're killing every single enemy. He's still killing a lot of them just because they're in his way.
Yeah,
But
skipping them's
they're
not
not
easy.
necessary. Yeah, a lot of them are like very frame perfect based. Like that one, that Chewy in that previous room from this one. You have to like enter the elevator from a certain side to manipulate how the Chewy spawns into the room when you activate it, and then you run under its legs. You have to get off the elevator really fast. It's pretty
There's no
frame perfect.
chance for a bonus level here, though. The number is way too high. You have to get to a 3,000, and then get another, 200 or whatever before you got to the boss. Other than that, you don't want to take Magic 3 yet. Palace 3 at this point is going to have more than enough experience to get him to 733 leaving. 733 leaving.
Yep.
Yeah. There was no opportunity based on that. This is just a very lucky run, and most of the time you're just hoping to get attack 6 by the end without killing too much extra stuff. This is a good spot to get the encounter, right?
Yeah, that's great.
Path.
Yeah, delay the swamp a little bit. You get a little random walk going right here.
Yep. Set up a random walk, but unfortunately it got into chase mode on the grass where he needed to walk, so he didn't get a benefit from it really.
Yeah, so in those swamp encounters, if you just don't go immediately out of the swamp, the amount of frames that you spent in that encounter will cause random walk on the overworld. If you spend too much time in the encounter, then they'll start to home in again, which is kind of funny. It's like a cycle of like, oh.
He's trying to wait for Fire Lady or something.
You can get fire and shield here. But another reason why
I was just saying what's up to the guy that looks like Seinfeld.
Yeah. The guy needs better posture. Another reason why you wouldn't want an extra level in P2, like say he could get Magic 3, which would be super crazy, because like the next threshold after Magic 3 is 700.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been able to clear it in that case. But if he takes that, then, every time you get a magic level or a life level, it actually refills your resources, right? So he's going to have to cast Fairy to get into P3 in the first place. By taking Magic 3 after that, it refills the magic. So you can utilize that level up. There's a little skip there on the encounters. It was a back spawn, so pretty free in the first place, but that allows for you to walk all the way to this King's Tomb for free. No encounters. And that's why we go to Shield Town late, is because we set up this walk here. And also it gets you out of the swamp and out of like RNG hell really early by getting to Shield Town before going to P3. Good walk.
Yeah, and also the late shield, if we were doing a double bubble early skip manipulation, then going to Shield Town would make that a lot harder to do.
Yeah. Another 200 bag. And there's your magic refill.
Yep. Just needs 379 more experience before he gets to the boss, and that's not going to be a problem.
Yeah. You have to kill things on your way, and it will guaranteed give you 379. Typically, if you want to like optimize it, you don't want your magic level up there. You want a red jar from the statue, and then you want to save your magic level up for after you've done another fairy cast later, like in the palace. But it doesn't matter. Oh, that one disappeared. Nice.
Neat. That was
He
weird.
broke a block as a block was like hitting it. It's sick.
But the fact that it continued to drop to the ground and then disappeared, that's the part.
Yeah. It didn't even make like a spray. It didn't have an animation either, unless that was just like the preview.
Bugs.
Yeah, no explosion animation. Sick. We're seeing all sorts of cool things.
Explosion skip. Just discovered.
Yeah. Oh.
Alright, let's see it. Short hop. Oh, first try.
Yeah, that jump's kind of not probably intended by the developers, but like if you get proper momentum and jump from just like a good spacing away, Link kind of like clips up on the blocks. We call it super jump when we use the jump spell in other scenarios that we can bring up later. I don't think that has a name otherwise.
Yeah, he can jump that high, but usually you want to do it from a distance because it's just a very slight timing where Link is that high. And if you do it up close to a wall like that, it's basically sub-pixel locked, whether you get up or not.
Waiting for the bot to jump down. Since they're total RNG, whether they're going to go left, right, or jump or nothing.
5-hit jackhammer.
Nice.
It's a 5-banger.
You just got to mash down.
So, yeah, he doesn't want to, save his nearly 2 seconds casting the fairy spell to skip the hoist because he's got more important things to do.
Yep.
Casting the jump spell here for safety, going back.
Let's think about his drop really quick. He killed a red IK, the Skelly. Did he kill the red IK outside?
Yeah.
3, 4, 5. The drop is on the next enemy. Oh, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
We got a red jar. Yeah, that's another 50-50 drop there. In P3, 4, and 6, they're 50-50 drops. In P1, 2, and 5, anything that drops a jar is always a jar. And there's your drop. Jar. Merk's making time to make sure his Tetris block breaking was pretty. Looks good. These rooms are hell on a first playthrough. Those things keep spawning. That's why you want to make like a nice little staircase on your way out so you can just get up and over them. Those dog heads ASAP.
Old strat was to use jump to get out.
Yep. It's faster, but like obviously is the resource usage faster? Like later on when you don't have magic. Also, it just looks way cooler to do it without jump.
Why is he wearing Tim's in this version? So we did a little math. How far did we figure Link goes in this game?
Oh man, you're gonna have to tell me.
We figured out he goes like 10 miles an hour.
Yeah.
In side scrolls. But we didn't really figure out. We didn't like come up with an equivalent for Overworld. But yeah, we figure he probably goes about 30 miles or something. So this is a 30-mile journey. I mean,
did we ever figure out his shoe size?
I didn't figure out his. That's a good question. But homie jogs about 10.5 miles per hour. If he's 5'6". If he's shorter, then it's less. But we don't know. We don't really know. I don't know how tall he is. Maybe somebody here does.
Yeah, so like Lincoln, I feel like Link's height. Well, I think the height of most people in the Zelda universe isn't that tall. So like when you run into someone really tall, they look like ginormous, like Impa. But like in reality, they're probably like 6 foot or something. I think Link is like a 5.5.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, we're talking about he's an adult now. It's made by a Japanese developer and like average height. Ganondorf is 4'5". Where does that come from? That's made up.
Nice dodge.
That was a great dodge.
Yeah, down and under are much more tighter than up and over, funnily enough. There's the example of using the beams to catch those bats if they go forward. It just kills them. Earlier, it would have stun locked them, but
fast in that cave. That was important too because of the walks here.
Yes.
He's gonna get
you want them to kind of home in here.
Yeah, that walk's all scripted because he had a good cave, a nice clean cave, and then he could take that walk nice and clean too. So
Yeah.
I think the way side scrolls go impact how the next section of the overworld's going to go.
Here's another spot where we're gonna cast Fairy, grab an item. Gets you over the Lizalfos too. The Lizalfos, if you don't back it up and you just grab the item, it'll come and stab you once. If you're lucky enough, you can probably like crouch and block it or something. But yeah, cast Fairy and save your 2.5 seconds.
I thought the timeline thing was made up. Go ahead.
Getting this 1-up right here also sets up a walk. That's why you got it after the fact. Ooh, but the encounter's fast there, and he just didn't react quick enough.
Go back, do it again. Just do like 4 stabs. Yes, he's gonna do it.
You guys,
no, that's not how it works.
Ah, the random walking.
But the steps are on the right spot.
Yeah.
So he might get lucky and get through anyway.
Oh, even with the fairy there. Nice. But this is going to be random too? No, it's homing in. What's funny is like if you're on the overworld long enough, encounters will either switch to homing in or random walking. Because that walk is so long, you really don't know what you're going to get by the end of it.
So there we saw him standing at the edge of the encounter stabbing, and that was to buffer off. Because if he doesn't do those stabs, when he pops out in the overworld, he's going to use another encounter skip. And those are just going to random walk on him, so he actually be slower to, most of the time. It'll be slower to not stab.
So in that 1-up encounter... Oh, yeah.
This was figured out by Highlander some years ago, where if you hold down while casting the fairy, it holds your position as crouched, so that you can go into the chimney as a fairy.
Yeah.
Before that, we cast a jump spell, and because the roof has a slight overhang, it'll push Link up over the ledge if you're at a very precise subpixel. So it's about like a 2-frame window probably to make that jump. And to do it smoothly, you had to like cast jump really quickly when you came on the screen, so that you could then press the A button and jump up.
Yeah, those were the good old days.
Upstab for life.
If you miss super jump 3 times, I think it's faster to just take the intended route at that point and jump on the left houses and go right.
3? I think it's like 7. Isn't it like 7? You probably know better than I do.
I think it's like a wash at 4.
Okay.
But
still,
it depends on who timed it as well. That's what Error said.
Okay, but either way, if you keep doing it, you're still on the right side, so you might as well keep trying, right?
Yeah. You definitely never just give up. Never start.
Moo. That's another time buffer to get this encounter to walk right at Link when he does the skip.
Yeah, so like when Mercs is stabbing here, it's not like a stab manip that you would see in like one of the Game Boy Color Zelda games. It's actually just like to waste time. So we can count how many frames are occurring by Link stabs. Stabbing is just like a measurement of time. So like reading a sign is also a measurement of time. Yeah, it's buffering.
Back spawn. Oh,
nice up and over, the double spawn at the perfect time. Got one more. Back spawn, easy.
Wow.
We're gonna get the full song here. Overworld song. Wait for it.
Oh, here it comes. Don't go in. Oh,
that's funny. Yeah, Mercs is racing himself. He's racing past Mercs. I think past Mercs is a little ahead.
He's racing his expectations for himself.
True.
And your expectations for him. So keep it low and he wins.
True. This maze, he's taken like this outer walkway. It looks like it's slower. But there's some like hidden encounters in the middle of this maze, so faster to just take this longer path around them. So I had my space heater on this whole time and I turned it off. And now that I'm talking at the same volume that I was, I feel like I'm yelling. Oh my god,
It has a
shut
fan
up.
on it. It's not like just a regular
Yeah.
space heater. Okay. I haven't used mine in like 2 years probably, and it's not a fan one. It's just a radiant one. And it probably, if I turn it on, it'll probably smell like burnt dust for a day.
Oh yeah. That's so gross. I just feel my allergies kicking in thinking about it.
The dust is skin.
Yeah.
Just a little sample.
Oh, red jar, don't have to take a death. So in these rooms, these lava rooms, they're like the perfect rooms to get the key and then just jump into lava. Because this game utilizes like a life system. Taking a death there is not a game over, so it just warps you to the start of the room and you walk out and it refills your resources. So your magic is up and stuff.
It's a couple seconds less walking as well.
Yeah.
Together. But
Yeah,
we're
death
supposed to hang
abusing.
on to this lives for this marathon setting.
Yep. Right now he has a bunch. And if he only takes 2, he'll have an additional 3.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Plug-in coat. You like preheat it before you put it on and go outside.
Does it have like the corn things inside of it? You gotta microwave it. That'd be fun.
I don't like the way those smell. It's gross. My wife used to use one and take it to bed before we got a heated mattress pad, and I just was like,
Yeah, I don't like them either. I just don't like the way they feel. That's scary. You're like wearing batteries. Imagine they use lipo batteries. Get punctured.
Yeah, that's not good.
$45 degrees.
Kid's gonna
Sheesh.
put that kid in a crock pot.
Let them cook. They took the phrase "let them cook" a little too literally.
I don't know this phrase. I'm like,
Oh man, it's new. Well, it's funny because it's been around for a while, but like it's in right now. It's from like Valorant and like I don't know, probably League and stuff. It's all over Twitter. Oh yeah, I can always keep you up to date on Zoomer stuff.
I appreciate that. You're like one of my main Zoomer links.
Yeah, I am the link between millennials and Zoomers, even though I am a millennial.
Yeah, I'm like right on the edge of millennial, Gen X, and I certainly feel like it sometimes.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of millennial. What is the cutoff for millennial actually?
Millennial Gen X is like 1980 birth, 1981, 1979, something like that.
And 95.
And Highlander says 82, 95. So I'm an 81er.
Yeah, I'm a 91.
So I've got a brother that's a millennial, and then I've got, what do you call somebody who's like 13 right now? What are they gonna get to be? The Doom generation?
Doomers.
I got 2 sisters who are, yeah, they're just like, they gotta live with that.
They have E1M1 as their theme song.
Huh?
Doom E1M1.
E1M1. Oh, okay.
The first mission of Doom.
Yeah. See, I'm not even that Doom generation.
Yeah.
I didn't have a good
You think it's
computer
slow?
back in those days, so I couldn't even play Doom.
Oh wow. Yeah. I don't know. When I was a kid, I just had Doom on my computer. My dad was one of those people that just like built computers. I think we had like 5 in our house. He would build them and sell them through the newspaper.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's some old school stuff.
Yeah, so I had a computer in my room like by the time I was aware of things. And I played Doom.
Yeah, I didn't have a decent computer till 99 maybe. But I mean, I always had computers that they were always just like I think they were somebody's like hand-me-downs or like leftover office equipment type stuff.
Yeah, I'm assuming you could play like something like a Duke Nukem original or something like that, right? Like a side-scrolling, like a Secret Agent Man.
Yeah.
Monuments of Mars. Anyone remember that game? Orange and black.
Waiting for chat to catch up. All right, Karok fight. Pay attention.
Highlanders kids also beat him, so. Oh, this is great. Mercs is doing real good.
4, 5. Watch this.
Oh, he walked out. You see that? See how he walked out early on that? This dude's got cojones.
Oh, they call him Boomer. They're not even right.
Hey, Boomer's a mentality. All right, to P5 and everyone's favorite trick. I think Dave was the one asking like, what's the worst trick in the game? This is probably everyone's favorite trick in the game. As a viewer, I would say.
Oh yeah, this is the moment.
Normally you have to use fairy at the start of this palace to get up and over like this really tall ledge. It's like this vertical hallway that is really skinny that you have to go up. But he's going to hopefully get up there with a damage boost with the jump spell. We'll see.
Jump on, 2 stabs, good starting position. Oh yeah.
Yeah, buddy. So you'll see that he did the buffer of 2 stabs for timing's sake. He tried to stop himself 3 blocks away from the edge of the screen from the right side. The bubble bounces back based on the timing of the stabs. You run and jump, you do a banana. Everyone knows what the banana is.
Yeah, banana.
When you jump, you do like a banana shaped curve. You touch the wall, come up, hit the right side of the bubble by holding left, and it boosts you up over that ledge. Called the economical key because it saves you magic.
Is key short for something? Or is it just a key?
Just a key.
Okay.
It should be like an acronym of some sort. But what that would allow you to do is say like you didn't get a magic refill before coming to this room. You would be able to cast jump again. If he had to cast jump and then fairy because he missed it, he would have to walk back and grab the key after exiting the screen because he's a fairy. He can't grab keys as fairy. So that wastes you like, I don't know, 10, 12 seconds. But then he would have no magic to jump and get that key in the block room, which is also terrible.
Yeah, the block room is actually really terrible, but he had a very good example of a block room.
Yep. Those blocks dropping are total RNG, so you just hope for the best pattern. Because you have to have at least 2 blocks to jump on to get the key. Because again, as a fairy, you can get up there as a fairy, but you can't grab the key.
Oh, he walked off the edge.
Wow.
10 frames, come on, man.
So if you jump off ledges as opposed to walking off, you'll be at maximum drop velocity. Yeah. By the time your like feet are like parallel with the ledge again. So by jumping early, you can like get over the ledge and down sooner. And that one's an easy one to time because it's like you grab the key, you jump and jump. And with jump spell, it's like the perfect amount of distance that you fall off the ledge just barely after it. Again, it's like 10 frames, no big deal.
Right.
Sixth of a second.
We always want to roast him on the fewest amount of frames possible.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Here. So I'm gonna roast him a little bit because if he had waited till he hit the horn to cast fairy, he wouldn't have overwalked it because the game would have stopped him in the hoist animation. Then he could have cast fairy immediately.
Didn't the level up happen right before the item though?
Did the level up? Oh, well, that didn't.
Like you wanted the magic refill.
Yeah, but there's magic refill up ahead anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess if he doesn't use any of the magic, then yeah, it's gonna save. That's an example roast. Not maybe not specific to that situation.
Example roast, yeah. Things we could roast him on. Another bag. Don't need it, but we're taking it.
What was he setting up a drop for? Let's see.
You got 3 enemies coming up. 4, if you include that. So 2 Tektites to get a red jar.
Okay. I was trying to think further ahead than that. I'm like, yeah, but the Tektite cave is dumb.
Yeah. I would agree with you, but I think Mercs he just goes for that drop, so.
That's still a controversial
Yeah.
take on the Tektite cave.
Yeah, so late game, resources aren't as crazy intensive. We're getting more magic containers. Spells are starting to cost less as our magic level goes up. So there is some contention on where we want our drops in the later game. At this moment, if Mercs kills the rest of the large enemies in this palace, and then we're on our walk to going to New Cosito, the second to last town in the game, there's 3 large enemies in a cave there. And they're called Tektites, and if you kill them with fire, they count as a large enemy. They're 50-50. You can get a red jar in there, and then it refills your magic going into New Cosito. You can cast a spell to get the magic key. You can grab the magic key with the fairy spell. You can grab the magic container with the fairy spell. Save all this time with all this magic casting. But you can also just get a refill in the town. Like, you can just walk into the town, you talk to the lady, you get the refill. It takes like 3 seconds.
2.1.
2.1 if you do it super optimally. You know where to talk to the lady.
Too flat optimal.
Yeah, okay. So these Tektites, they're a pain in the butt. You could just fairy over them. You could jump over them. Fairy is, a lot of people don't have fairy magic there because they use fairy in the other screen. So you could jump spell, or you could use fire and just not go for the drop. Maybe it's a P bag. A lot of times these Tektites kind of jump everywhere. They're RNG based. They're hard to kill sometimes. Sometimes they die to your left and you have to walk back for the drop. And it could waste you upwards of like a few seconds, like 4 or 5. It could be fast, but you can also waste a lot of time. So some people are like, oh, do I not kill the Tektites and save the drop for P6 and maybe get it on a red IK in there and then have a better magic refill at the gem? These are all little frames that people are so...
Little stuff.
Yeah, and there's some contention with
now here
where it's more utilized.
Shield magic, and like everybody's gonna use the shield magic here because like getting 1 hit from Guma without it puts you into death range. And there, yeah.
Yeah, we're already casting life.
Yep.
Yeah, because we're at life 4, it's actually considered underleveled here. If you take your levels as they come, I think people are probably like 666 or 65, 667, somewhere around there here.
If you think about like, I don't know, as far as scaling, like if you're attack 7, Guma takes 8 hits, so every bar is every hit's a bar, and then if your attack 8, Barba, the next boss, is the same, 8 hits. So. Yeah, if you think about in terms of that kind of scaling, probably over-leveled on attack, but definitely under-leveled on life.
Yeah, exactly. Because, the way that the levels work in this game, how how much life 4 is worth versus attack 4. Attack 4 is like 1,000. Life 4 is like, you know, in the hundreds. That means that the intended way to level is like, you know, you take them as they come. You're gonna have more life, more magic than attack. So I think when your first casual playthrough, that's like usually the case. But of course, in a speedrun, we want attack.
Right. So here in town, this is kind of not, I mean, it's like 3-year-old strat, but a little route change where we're coming to Fire Town after P5 with the point gain still rolling. You get the level up in town, and the fanfare for a level up is like a second shorter in town, and we do 4 level ups here. So 4 times 1 is 4.
Whoa.
Whoa, big mad. 4 seconds.
Yeah, there's a fanfare in the town, which is right here. Like dun-na-na-na, when you get the spell and then you cancel out of it and leave. So when you take the level up here, it's utilizing this town's like global or like this room's fanfare and overriding it with like the world fanfare that it would normally have for a level up. I guess it can only share like when it points to a fanfare, it looks at which one's active, and the one active is here in the town. Versus like the actual level up one.
Magic Lady long enough for her to say res.
Oh, went too early.
Went too early, but that was just part of a setup for this upcoming attempt at a River Devil skip. I don't know if what he'll try to do to back up for it.
Oh, he's gonna wait. These aren't gonna home in though. NT.
Oof.
So if you just wait on the desert tile here, you just try to get lucky. Yeah, the desert tile is like the lucky spot. If you were like where he missed that encounter, if you were to stab and get the encounters to home in again, you know, you do your 4 stabs in a long encounter, 1 stab in a half encounter, and then you stand 1 tile above the desert, you can retry for a slink and have them home in onto that tile again. And he was trying to just skip a tile. He's skipping one of these screens. There's 3 of these fence screens. That first encounter skip was to get rid of one of them.
He's set up for Lord Doodoo Walk.
Yeah, everyone's favorite strats.
Alright, let's see how it works out for him. So you can step on the swamp here and then go down. Okay,
and then
so
wait and look. Oh.
Lucky. No look. Just goes. Just go and get lucky.
And get
Another
a back spawn.
Just get back spawns.
Yeah, just get lucky. That's how that strat works.
We can't properly roast bad strategies in this game if he gets lucky and they work out for him.
I know. What's worse is when they work out, I die a little bit more inside because people are like, oh, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
It's a good strat. He got his red jar there, so we won't need a magic refill in town.
And a nice pickup on it too. So I mean, if you take 2 seconds to get that red jar, it's a wash.
Yep.
But that was good. He's having a good run. Like gonna go look up the tournament race times and see if
I don't know.
if you ever had a good.
I don't know what my pace is right now because I don't have a timer on, but this might actually be ahead of PB pace. Besides that, Magic and Fairy Town, that's the only thing like I have extra. That and picking up Graveyard one up, like that's the only extra time.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but you might be.
Yeah, it might be close right now. I'm not sure. We'll see how we finish up.
Yeah, I'm not gonna look.
I'm not either.
I do happen to know, but I feel like I shouldn't say. More fun this way. Oh, the downstab pose. S-puke. People like to pose there. Like when you cast spell and the spell works, it does its one job in this town. That it's well, when I say job, what it is required to do is open that world boner building there. It stops Link in the air, and people like to pose with Link and take a selfie. Yeah, I can't remember. There's a hint for this town, and I think the hint is in just regular Kasuto, and you have to talk to like a pixel on the wall. It's like a sign.
If that's the case, that's disgusting because you're supposed to be to get to this town before you can enter Palace 6, where the cross is, that lets you see the eyeballs that are killing the heck out of you in Old Kasuto.
Yeah, exactly. It is kind of messed up that they give you the item in the hidden town.
But it does make it a challenging game. It does, like, make that an ordeal.
Yeah.
You have to just look at it from different perspectives, like... that the game is meant to be an ordeal.
I think the one hint this game is missing is someone telling you, like, hey, you need to check walls.
Yeah. Well,
stab walls. Because, you know, like, hidden hints are kind of...
Right. There's two...
You should have a...
hints hidden in, like, the side of a chimney with no visual indicator.
Yeah. The other one's in...
Nude Kasuto.
Okay.
Kasuto.
What is that hint? Is that the heart hint?
Yeah, I think it probably is. Yeah,
It says like there's a heart along the ocean or something.
Also, that table that you talk to is as tall as Link. That's a 5'6" tall table for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, why? Why is the table that tall?
It's a standing desk for Impa. And Ganondorf. Oh yeah, fun thing we get to do now, because we have a consistent way to get a red jar drop in this palace, is you can cast magic wherever you want. Going all the way to the item, which is the cross. I know the items. So you're going to cast jump in here. Cast a jump in that first room earlier just to go up and over the Wiz robes. You can cast jump in the room after the WizCon room here. This is the Wiz convention. It's like a super packed COVID party in here in the FDS version, because there's like twice as many. But yeah, that was a short-lived convention. Pretty easy. We're casting jump here just because there's this 4 tile right here, and it's like a few pixels perfect to make that jump, like 2 pixels maybe, 4 frames. I don't know. Casting jump in here.
Another invisible 4 tile jump there. There may be 2, max 3 frames perfect if you're walking at full speed.
Yeah.
If they're any more than 3 frames, I would never miss them, and I miss them plenty.
Right. Butt door.
Oh, when I played the PC Zelda thing on that Game Maker one on my computer with my monitor with its many frames of display lag, I could not hit 4 tile jumps.
Oh no, yeah.
Right there. So he was able to screen wrap to hit the jar that was on the left side of the screen using his up stab, and by doing it, really fast when he loaded the screen, that's a guaranteed jar drop.
Yeah, that's part of our global/room timer that we've been talking about. So that one's a room timer. You walk in, you have a certain amount of frames where it's going to be a red jar, certain frames where it's going to be a red IK. So yeah, the fact that you're entering it and like doing it so soon, you can pretty much get guaranteed frames to get a red jar every time, as long as you're fast enough. If you're too fast, you don't even hit it and you just go back off screen or something. But if you're too late, it's a red IK. But there's a big group of frames where it's like perfect.
Yeah, it's like a 6-frame window to hit.
He was looking for a red jar there to try to get a life spell. Yeah, you got a lot of lives, Mercs. Just go.
Ooh. Ooh.
Is that it? Nice. He's cheating. Didn't unlock a door.
Disqualified from Twin Galaxies. Also, he didn't get 888.
Also, you're bad. He's cheating.
I'd never narc out Mercs on a ceiling walk. Especially not the Twin Galaxies or the FBI.
I mean, he could skip fire, and I still would be iffy on if I'm gonna call him out. Ooh, got tapped. Doesn't matter. Have enough magic. You need 2.5 bars for fairy. Because it is 40 magic or whatever.
Got the red jar.
Yeah.
I know
That's
the
where a
location.
good red jar goes, yep. It sucks because you have to kill it, but...
It does. And it's not ultimately that beneficial overall, but in our little debate over where to put that red jar, that's a good spot for it.
Yep. It's after you use a fairy, and, maybe some jump magic. Or fire magic in the fire room. Lava room. So now he's going to cast fairy. It's going to be 2.5 bars, so he's going to only have a 3-bar refill if he doesn't get hit.
Yeah.
At the gem, which saves time. It's like classic Zelda. You got to wait for it to count up if you're down some resources.
Yeah.
For it to max you out.
104 frame refill.
Yeah.
No, more than that with the jump magic.
Yeah. 3.5 bars. But the health was also like almost 3.5, so thankfully the jump doesn't change it too much.
Nah, not much.
So we have another level up overflow here. But you notice we're already attack 8. So now that we're 6/6, we're just going to take the magic 7 and then skip again. And then we're only going to need 500 XP to get to magic 8, which we'll get on the way to Dark Link. Either in the Valley of Death early or later in GP just for a magic refill. So there's your magic refill. That's why you cast Fairy now, because you can just Fairy over all this crap on the screen. Good strat. Fairying over things.
Very good.
Now we can see eyeballs because we have the cross.
Did he even get in the first frame of this door?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Come on, Mercs. Oh, he did the react.
Oh, he did do it. He did slow down. Wow.
Did it work? Oh, it did.
Sort of, yeah. He saved some frames.
Yeah.
That guy stops you automatically when you get to a certain position, but you maintain your momentum. So if you walk into full speed, you're going to overwalk that plane by quite a bit. But if you slow down and kind of like come to a gradual stop at it, you can save some frames. So he gets credit for that. I don't even see what happened with his door anymore.
Yeah, I wasn't looking at the exit. He had to cast Fairy there. He's stabbing once and then casting Fairy again because he's just going to go for the red jar refill. Stabbing is to set up a walk that you can get to this next skip at the start of the Valley of Death. But he needs to slink that encounter there in order for it to work. So he's going to do another stab. Make sure they home in, take the encounter there. This skips a fence with Wilsons that throw rocks at you. And eyeballs.
Okay, he's loading up spell magic. Let's see if he goes for beams first. Yes. Beautiful. The beams here are really helpful because you can get through the Valley of Death without spending magic, and that's a real key to having a sick run. Like, this is one of the last gates here.
Man, these back spawns.
That's what you want to see. If you keep the beams, you can save the magic. If he loses beams, he's got a backup plan, and he'll start using his spell magic to get through these, which isn't very expensive.
Yeah, for the most part.
The more magic. Damn, nice. Oh!
Oh, nice.
God!
I even gave him a little damage,
That was amazing. And thankfully, we've only got like 7 minutes left that I have to sit in these wet pants.
Oh, swamp ass.
That's right. That move gave me.
Oh, spelled on Max. It's no thunder spell, but it works. Okay, 4 stabs. You got to set up the 4 stabs if you miss this so that they home in on you.
Yeah, that was an example of frame rules changing where that spawn was. So that was a really late frame rule, so him automatically walking into the encounter skip didn't work.
Yeah, that one sucks. That's like the worst one at the end of a good run.
Yeah, you really should. I mean, if you should just make sure. But that was like at the edge of some bad luck as far as being able to go full speed and not have to look.
Yeah.
Most of the time, you don't have to look.
So Mercs already took his magic 8, so he can actually just spend all of his magic here and just go for a death abuse at the end to get your magic refill before Thunderbird.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, he's got so many lives, it's like you might as well utilize them.
Yeah, getting past all these with, every time you ferry over a spiced chicken, you're potentially saving yourself a lot of trouble anyway. Ideally, if you're really, really trying to push a good time, you want to get this magic level up after spending down all your magic for all the best time saves in here, and then not take a death abuse, because death abuse costs like 9 seconds to do. But in this scenario, he won't have an accidental death.
Right.
Most likely.
Yeah, he'd have to get into a scenario where he just doesn't cast shield and the bluebird like face tanks him like twice or something.
Nice.
But it's
Breaking
always
a certain cadence helps you keep going, but he has a slight hiccup there.
yeah, the 3 block break at the start messed up the timing. Getting shield ready in case this Bird Knight was more aggressive when it was activated. Sometimes it can be further left because it like jumps more immediately. And in that case, it's really hard to dodge it because it's in that little short hallway with you. Yeah, just another fairy cast. We have enough magic to cast jump in the next room, so a red jar here isn't required. Jump is almost required in the next room. It's not, but like it's pretty necessary to get through it fast and without taking damage.
Yeah, if you want to see the difference between jump and not jump in this room, you just look at the any percent world records from last year versus this year.
Yeah.
Because now in any percent, no more jump magic, and this room's a nightmare.
Yeah, you gotta go through. You can go up through the higher part of the first one, but on the right here, you would have to go through the lower area. And this Bird Knight can just jump and jump and jump and follow you.
Oh, like this.
Yep, this is the scenario I was talking about where he might die. And this happened because he broke the blocks too low on that waffle on the right there, and it allowed the bird to just keep coming with him. So if you notice, he only broke 4 there. Ideally, we only break 4 high at this side as well. It's like that. Now the Bird Knight can't jump up in.
That's my bad. I jinxed that.
So how much is Reflect right now? Is it 12?
16.
It's 16. If he doesn't get hit by a magic bubble, his magic's fine.
Yep.
But there's this one bubble right here. If it hits him,
Yes.
he's not gonna have enough
That's
magic
bird.
for T-Bird. And it hit him. So you're gonna need magic.
Even if you're not hit by the bubble, if you pass through it with invincibility frames, it still drains your magic. But why
Yeah.
is he up magic? No, he's down. He is down.
They're just gonna ferry over this and take a death abuse.
Yeah.
Got another life after that too, so.
Yeah, in this amount of life, you could maybe take 2 hits from Thunderbird, but I don't think so. I think that's 1 available hit.
With no shield, yeah.
With shield. With shield.
Oh, yeah. This health right here, yeah, you're right, sorry.
Thunderbird hits impossibly hard. Like, damage from Thunderbird is just huge. I mean, it's something like 2 3/4 of a bar at life 6 with shield on, right?
Yeah.
That seems ridiculous. Is that really right? It sounds right.
At life 6, I think so, yeah.
I mean, that means without shield, it's like 5.5 bars.
Yeah, if you're not casting shield, it's because you're just one hit in general, typically.
Right.
Oh, almost good. Tink. Aw, it would have been a good cleanup if he didn't get hit at the last moment there. Good enough fight that like you really just don't want to take damage, right? So there's your 2 bars of damage that he took with shield on. I can't quite see because of the fuzziness, but if it goes past the white
like
bar.
3.5 without shield. A little 3 1/4 without 3 3/4 without shield. Yeah. Anyway, Darklink, go stand in the corner over here. Darklink's hitbox is impossible, dude. It's not really impossible, but
You have to be so far into him to hit him, so like you have to constantly be jumping into him,
yeah.
and it's just annoying to deal with.
And you get about, I mean, even if you're like really,
Time.
you know exactly what to do, it's like half the time you
Yep.
actually get the hitbox.
GG Mercs.
Yo, thanks, guys. Yeah, except that blue bird that shinks me on. Like that would never happen.
Never.
No, I broke the blocks too low twice. I'm rusty. That's all. I thought it was a pretty good run other than that, though.
Yeah, you were at 78 pace in New Kasuto.
What did I end up finishing at?
79.
Oh, I mean, I'm okay with that.
Sub 80.
Sub 80. That's what I wanted.
It's your best time this year.
Yeah, in a race format anyway. I might have had 179 in races, I forget. Well, GG, yo. Thank you for the comms. I appreciate you guys. You guys had me laughing the whole time.
Good.
And thank you for explaining Zelda 2 to everybody.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they got every detail completely absorbed. They're ready now to go out and run Zelda 2.
Me, I would have been like, you go in the door on this frame, and this is what happens. You guys are like giving math equations and shit. So
That's
Also, you're gonna find out Link's shoe size.
yeah, I heard that part.
Yeah, you want to shout anything out, Mercs?
No, just shout out to you guys, the whole Zelda 2 community, or everybody that's in the Zelda 1 community, Dave, everything going towards the charity for the kids. And it just seems like everybody is donating, and it's been a good turnout from what I've seen so far, so I'm just glad everything is going smooth for Dave right now and Kat.
Yeah, and good performance. That was pretty smooth.
Appreciate that.
It's great, man.
Yeah, I was hitting all the things I don't have on my PB, so I was like, oh man, this has a chance to do something right now, but I didn't know what my time was at.
Getting eco key, not making the doo-doo walk look like strat.
I had a perfect LZAD. I hit eco.
Oh my god, that's right, you did. The whole thing was, except for right after the 1-up, the late step out, but then you got lucky.
Mm-hmm. No, I had some luck in there, definitely.
Well, you need luck. You have to have luck to get through that part.
And I had the backup river dance out in the desert tile.
Yeah, it was like a
one encounter.
Third try, I think. I think that's kind of what put you behind PB there.
Yeah, I took the forest encounter because I went too quick, and then I went into the fence the first time, and I backed out and redid it, and then I hit it, and then I guess that was the third try, like you said.
Yeah, essentially.
So I lost a little time there. It seemed like VOD was pretty good. I missed 2 skips in VOD. I had to reset, but...
Yeah, you probably lost like 8 seconds to those total. That's just nothing. That's like 1 extra encounter, so it's pretty good.
Thanks a million.
You know what? Yeah, I got a shout out. I don't know when it'll be, but the next Zelda 2 tournament will probably be like 100% NMG sometime this spring.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, it might be that, or it could be something like a multi-category. We haven't totally ironed it out yet.
That was the thing that they were saying. It was going to be like a multi-category thing. But either way, that would be fun. That actually will get me back on Z2 for that.
Yeah. So if you follow Mercs, then you can get the updates on that from him. And then in the fall, it will be 100% all keys. So get ready. Learn Zelda 2 sometime this year and participate in that tournament, because we had a great time last year.
You said NMG 100%?
Oh, we don't know. It might be that, or it might be multi-category for the spring.
Yeah, I actually ran. Well, Light was actually the one that it was like, yo, run NMG 100%. Like, Light was like showing me a bunch of stuff, and I never submitted that time, but I did submit NG plus 100%. I for whatever
NG
reason,
plus
I just,
NG,
yeah, I just never submitted. I had a decent time for NG 100%. I mean, NMG 100%. I just never submitted it. Like, I don't know what happened in that run.
Just gotta do it again.
Yeah, one day.
Yeah, it's fun. Other categories are fun in this game.
I'm not like into like the whole like glitch category stuff like you guys were more than me, but I definitely enjoyed NMG. Like, I thought that was pretty fun. It was like you're still doing some glitch stuff, but it's not like the whole game is 15 minutes and you're just walking through walls and, you know. Like,
Yeah, like 100% MG is, 13 minutes faster than all keys. So just skipping the keys and using some updates is already saving you 13 minutes of walking.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah, if you want to check out Zelda 2, just look them up on SRC, Zelda 2. You'll find the Discord there if you want to like ask questions about learning the run, and look out for information on the spring tournament if you want to join like a newbie tournament.
It really is a great community too. Like, honestly, like everybody in Zelda 2 is like really like nice, and if you really wanted to learn to run, like everybody's like very helpful, and like I learned a ton of stuff even off Light and Unos. So I mean, like the harder end of the game, I was learning stuff off them, but even in the beginning, people I had way past their time, like were teaching me stuff like back then when I first started, and it's like there's the whole community is just even from the top guy who's dude, like if you ask dude something like 3 o'clock in the morning, he'll probably answer you in like 5 minutes or like react. Like everybody's like just super helpful.
Yep.
Except Lordo, not Lordo.
Yeah, he won't help you.
He'll help you if you know him. Otherwise, he's probably DJing, doing something else.
All right. Well, thanks, Eunice. That was sick. Thanks for doing comms with me. That was very informative. That was more informative than I thought we would be, but it was pretty sick. And thank you, Marks.
Oh, thank you, guys.
Epic gameplay. It was so epic.
I'm not sure what's going on with this stream. I'm not in there, so I'm guessing.